Welcome back to the Barry Charles Footy Show as we compare NRL greatest teams and see who will make the top 8. In this edition, we're going to talk about the Sydney City Roosters, or just Sydney Roosters, depending on what area you come from, versus the North Queensland Cowboys, who have had a shorter history, which makes it harder for them to have a lot of superstars, but we still think they're not a bad squad. But can they get past the Roosters? Well, let's look at the Sydney City Roosters first. James Tedesco at fullback. Anthony Minicello and Bill Mullins are my wingers here. Dally Messenger and Dave Brown. Very good old school players. Dally Messenger, one of the pioneers of the game, had to be in this Roosters squad. And just to let you know, Brad Fiddler would have been in the squad, but put him in the Penrith Panthers squad, so Brad Fiddler does not get a mention here. But still, he would have been tough to make it. Bill Mullins, got one of the wing spots, but obviously Rogers Tuafasa could have got there, but obviously he went in the Warriors team. Mitchell Pearce and Kevin Hastings, obviously another player that could have been there. I would have put in there Cooper Cronk, because he won those 2 premierships, but Cooper Cronk would be in my team, but he's in the Melbourne Storm, so I couldn't pick both. Forward pack, very, very good. For Beatson, Craig Wing, Adrian Morley, Ron Coote, Craig Fitzgibbon, and Hugh McGain. And on the bench here, I was struggling a bit for this 4 teams. I've gone for Gary Freeman, Jared Warrior-Hargraves, Sonny Bill Williams had to be there, and Luke Ricketson. Very good team, the Roosters team. But let's have a look at the North Queensland Cowboys. Can they make a play to beat this team? Well, they certainly got some instinctive players in this team. Fullback, Matt Bowen. Great player, Matt Bowen. Kyle Felt is the winger with Matty Singh. Oh, we've got some much talent in this. Brent Tate and Paul Bowman, very, very much consistent players who will help the squad immensely. Michael Morgan, very underrated player, and lost him before his greatness. Jonathan Thurston, one of the greats of the game. Matt Scott and Jason Tamalolo all look out here. Aaron Payne, this is a very solid team. Luke O'Donnell, Gavin Cooper, and Travis Norton, very good. And on the bench for this team, Nathan Feen, James Tamau, Paul Rauhihi, and Carl Webb. Unlucky players to miss the squad: Josh Hannay, Willie Tonga, didn't play much, Jake Granville, but to be honest, it wasn't. And there'll be ones like Jeremiah Nanai and a few others that are playing now that will push themselves to this team over time, but I'm just too young yet to really put them in. And on the other side, Sam Parrott was unlucky not to make it, and Sean Kenny Dow. But yes, overall, the squads, I think the back line looks just too strong, to be honest. It looks just way too strong for the Roosters. James Tedesco, even though Matt Bowen will hold his own, 8 out of 10 times, James Tedesco would win out, even though Matt Bowen was outstanding with Jonathan Thurston. And that's how they can win some games. Anthony Minicello, he would be very good, but Matty Singh was so good. Matt Singh was a very good player. But Dally Messenger and Dave Brown, they would be tough to beat. Mitchell Pearce and Michael Morgan was a bit of a toss and turn, but Mitchell Pearce was playing very good footy for a long time. Just because he was losing, he was a bit of a battling ram, but he was a very good player, Mitchell Pearce. The forward pack was tough, very tough. They're pretty even in the props area. But the back row, Ron Coote, Craig Fitzgibbon, Hugh McGain, too good for Luke O'Donnell, Gavin Cooper, and Travis Norton, who are very solid NRL squad, but to be the top of the tree, not so much. If we look at the bench, Jared Warrior-Hargraves and Nathan Feen, Gary Freeman, Nathan Feen, sorry. I've gone for Gary Freeman, but Hargraves and Sonny Bill Williams seem to make it over. Tamau and Rauhihi, and I put Carl Webb in front of Luke Ricketson. and my suggestions. Yes, so how would the Sydney Roosters and North Queensland? How would the Cowboys? So obviously the winner of this round is Sydney Roosters, just to be clear cut. But this is the way the game plan would have to be. Their solid forward pack would have to deliver and rely on the extinctiveness of Jonathan Thurston, Matt Bowen, and Matty Singh. Even Michael Morgan at times can be a bit instinctive when he wants to be. Very, very good footy side. Absolutely no doubt about it. A very good footy side. If we look at what the Sydney Roosters would do, obviously similar. Their forward pack is very tough, uncompromising. But they would play a different type of game. It would be more direct, like a Cooper Cronk style play with Kevin Hastings and Mitchell Pearce. So that's obviously where the weakness is Jonathan Thurston. If Jonathan Thurston was in the Roosters team, then this team would absolutely be talked about as one of the best ever. But because they're not having a superstar half, really, never had a superstar half. There's some very solid halves, but never had a top 10 halves, is what's really negated the Roosters. But maybe they have one in Sam Walker. We'll see in 10 years' time if that is the case. So that is a possibility. So Sam Walker is of the current Roosters squad, and Joseph Suaalii, they're potential players that could eventually put them there if they stay here long enough to provide that. And obviously on the North Queensland side, Jeremiah Nanai is definitely on his way to putting himself in the limelight if he stays at the club. So that's a bit of the footy. But yeah, what do I think of these players here for future endeavours? Who out of these squads do you think are going to make the best team? James Tedesco, very good fullback. Is he a chance of making the best team of all time? You got Arthur Beetson. Is he a chance to make the best team of all time? Adrian Morley, Dally Messenger, Sonny Bill Williams. Will they make the best team of all time? Jonathan Thurston, Jason Tomalolo. So those are basically probably most of those players are the ones in the running for this team. Do you think? What do you think their chances of making it? Let me know what you think of the squads here. If you think there should be some changes, comment below. Make sure you do all that good stuff. Rugby League is the greatest game of all, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. And remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, spread this video all around the world so everyone can get a taste of the great game of rugby league. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Until I see you again at the next video, have a great day out there.